Hi, I'm JP, and today I'm going to do a 30-minute sweaty stretching session. I would love for you to join me. Today I'll use a rower. I'm going to use a mat for my knee, a dumbbell to help me get deeper into stretches, and either a yoga block, slant board, or bumper plate to help elevate during one of the stretches. Let's do this. Okay gang, plan for today. We're gonna get stuck pretty much straight into work. So if you need a proper warm-up, click the video. Otherwise, we're gonna be doing 6 rounds of work today, so you can use the first 2 as a little bit of a warm-up. Let's get ourselves strapped in. We're gonna be going for 2 minutes on the rower, 2 minutes in our stretches, and both are gonna get more difficult as the rounds go on. So let's start ourselves off. Menu, just row. Let's take it away. So we're looking at our first 2 minutes here. We have 6 of these in total to do, and ideally each one is going to be a little bit faster than the one before. 2 minutes at a time. We've got plenty of time here to think about good movement. So we're trying to do the same thing from the catch to the finish as we do from the finish to the catch. There's the catch and there's the finish. So we're thinking arms away before the body moves forward. Arms away, body forward. And if you struggle with that body forward position, there. Today we're going to help with that. Our stretches, we're going to target the front of the hip and the back of the hip. And because we're rowing in between our stretches, we're keeping our body warm. We're keeping our muscles kind of like toffee. If you're trying to manipulate toffee in a kitchen, it's pretty stiff. It can be quite brittle. But if you warm it up, if you massage it, it's way stretchier. And that's our plan here today. It's gonna get super stretchy. Okay, last 5 seconds of this first one. 3, 2, 1, handle down. Okay. So I have my mat set up here close to a wall. You can use a sofa or a box. Pretty much anything that allows you to get your shin as close to vertical as you can. Okay, if you're particularly tight, out here is going to feel pretty intense. But ideally we get in nice and close and take a big step forward, and from there come up pretty tall. So here, it's tempting to try and relax everything, but actually I want you to squeeze your bum as hard as you possibly can, and straight away we're probably going to feel something down the front of our quad, maybe even our hip. If it's not too bad, you're going to keep squeezing that bum and push it forward away from your heel. That's going to get us deeper into position here. The deeper we can get, the more intense that stretch is going to be. Going to go for another 15 seconds on this side, and then we'll do the same on the other side. Nice little bonus stretch up the front of the ankle as well. 3, 2, 1. Okay, swap it over. And as close as we can. A nice big step if you're able to. For some of you, you might find this is a deep enough stretch. Whew. Ooh, that is spicy today. Jakers. Okay, we're gonna squeeze that bum. Try to push it away from the heel. Nice. We spend a lot of time sitting down, whether it's driving, at the office, eating dinner, lots of time sitting down watching Netflix. And if our body is sitting in this position, legs and body, this muscle that connects the body and the legs together is going to be in a short position. And your body is super smart. So if it realizes that a muscle is short the majority of the time, it's going to make that muscle shorter, because muscle is quite expensive tissue. You've got to fuel it, you've got to keep rebuilding it, and so it takes up a lot of resources. So if your body shortens the muscle, you need less resources to survive. Okay, and relax. Back onto the rower. This time, I'm going to go a little bit faster than you did the last time. Grab the handle, off we go. Thinking about arms then body, arms then body. Because if we can practice that sequence on the recovery, rowing being like a golf swing, you want to do the same thing on the backswing as you do the forward swing. We practice the same thing in the recovery as we do the drive. So arms and body, and then body and arms. Arms and body, body and arms. So the muscles we were just stretching there are the ones that work when we're here at the finish of the stroke. They help support that position. So you might feel a little bit weaker here, but we want to get away from associating that feeling as weakness. Instead, we want to associate it with freedom of movement. We maybe have a little bit more access to positions, and that can feel funny. It's actually a strength. But if you're not used to this sensation, you might try to tell yourself it's weak. "15 seconds. Keep working on that rower. 5, 3, 2, 1, and off we get. So for our second stretch, we're not going to use the mat this time. We're going to use either a yoga block, maybe a bumper plate, or a slant board. I did a video on how to make one of these. You can buy them as well. But we're going to have a foot up, so the toe is higher than the heel. The other foot is going to go toe to the heel, and both legs are going to be locked. And from there, we're going to try and push that tailbone up as high as we can. Nice. I'm going to use this seat to encourage me to keep my weight forward and really intensify that stretch down the back of my legs. And it's important here that we're squeezing the quad, just like on our couch stretch, we're squeezing our butt. Because muscles work in pairs, and if one muscle is working, the opposite muscle is relaxing. And if we're trying to actively stretch a position, we want to teach those muscles to relax. Which is counterintuitive, because the body feels like in this position it needs to tense these muscles to keep us safe. And swap it over. But the thing is, the body is very conservative. It's like an overprotective person. It tries to keep you so far out of danger that you can't challenge yourself. And if you're not challenging yourself, you're not growing. So this is challenging us to maintain the length of the muscle or to gain new length that we haven't had. And if we're looking at the rowing stroke, this is going to help us get our body forward or our weight in front of the seat. And if we do that well, then we get way more power during our stroke. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Okay, back in the rower. Another 2 minutes, this time a little bit faster than we did last time. Grab handle, tension, row. As we go through these intervals, I'm just pushing a little bit more, so I'm adding a little bit more pressure. My rate is pretty much staying the same. Now there reaches a certain point where I'm going to have to get the rate a little bit higher to go faster, but I haven't hit that yet. If I do, you're going to hear a lot more loud breathing and a lot less talking. So that stretch we just did is helping with this position, getting that weight forward before we slide. And also on the way back here, where we push the legs before we swing the body. Legs, then body. Legs, then body. Now, outside of a rowing machine, it's also going to make things like picking something off the floor, tying your shoelace, touching your toes, all that kind of stuff easier and freer. And here we're putting that range into use straight away there, encouraging our body that we need it, that we want to hold on to it. We don't want short, tight muscles. We want long, strong muscles. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. We're going to go back to our mat again from the first stretch, but this time challenge ourselves a little bit more. There's 2 ways we can do that. Method number 1. We're just going to try and push the hip forward. Okay, 4 reps. Method number 2 is that same thing, but with a little bit of weight to help us stimulate the body to go that little bit deeper. If you find your body really resisting this position and tensing up and your breath's held, we just need to back off a little bit. Encourage our body just to calm down. This can be done as like a really intense workout where you're working super duper mega hard, or you can back off a little bit and use it more like active recovery. Swap it over. As you can see, Lily today has a very tasty bone. She is delighted with herself. She forgot she had this one. Nice. Still just trying to push that hip away from your heel. We're really squeezing that butt to help. What we don't want to do is just arch the back. It's going to cause issues. The muscles we're stretching, the quads and the hip flexors, pull on that lower back. So if you are sitting down a lot, it means you can't fully open your hip. So your back is constantly being pulled. That can be tight and sore, not very nice. So here we're trying to help take a bit of pressure off our back. And relax. Groovy. Okay. Back onto the rower. Row number 4. Let's a little bit harder again. Grab the handle, 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. And really feeling those hips and quads now. Especially as we're holding that strong finish position there. Every stroke just taking a second to lock your legs, point your toes, and to sit down into your stomach. There. We're not trying to sit back and up, back and down. It helps us keep a strong core shape. Going well. Another minute. Now on that couch stretch we've just done, you might also find your groin a little bit tight. It kind of just checks out all of your hips. Everything connecting your spine to your thighs, your hips to your knees, all that good stuff. "20 seconds. Nice solid push. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So on our slant board this time, or our yoga mat, or our bumper, I'm going to try holding our weight. Remember, toe to heel, both legs locked, and holding your weight. From there, I'm going to hinge over from the hip and then come back up. Try to keep our back flat here, so it's not curling over, it's hinging at the hip. You're going to feel almost like an electric shock up the back of the leg as you do that. You can see here, I'm really struggling to keep this leg straight. It just wants to bend. Keep fighting for it though, pulling that kneecap up to your hip. Sometimes it's nice to stand all the way up. Sometimes we're sitting at the bottom, in and out. It's a controlled in and out though, it's not a bounce. Swap it over, and off we go. So we look at what this dynamic movement does. Our nervous system, those nerves don't like long static stretches. Makes them feel a bit iffy. What they like is to go in and out of a position, just like we're doing here. So we have a variety of stretches on the go here. First one, mostly for the muscles, was a longer hold. This one, more dynamic stretch, good for the nerves. And relax. Whoa, feel my hamstrings now, jiggers. Okay, 5th row. Fastest one yet. Grab the handle, tension, row. So if you're feeling those hamstrings, we're trying to use them here at the finish of the stroke. They help to open the hip. There. Nice, so we push those knees down and then swing through. Push the knees down and then swing through. Notice I said knees down. That means that as we slide forward, we're only going as far as a vertical shin. If we go way further, we have to push our knees back before we can go down. Another minute here. Keep that effort coming. Going well. Starting to get a bit of a sweat on. Nice, cool, calm body. It's like a swan. Composed on the outside, fury under the water. Under your skin, working hard. Three, two, one. Okay, last time through our 2 stretches. Whew. Another couch stretch. This time, we're going to hold that position with our weight. And just hold the deepest position that you can. So if our first one was all about the muscles, the second one was all about the nerves flossing in and out. This one, we're all about our ligaments and tendons. They need to be strengthened up through load over a long period of time. Now, that's not just today. That's over a period of 6 to 12 months. They adapt much slower than our muscles, which is why the majority of people pick up injuries 6 months into a new exercise routine. Because their muscles have gone through 2 or 3 cycles of strength. Their ligaments haven't caught up yet. 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. Getting that shin as close to vertical as your mobility allows. Squeezing that butt cheek. Tummy pulled in. Feeling the front of that leg. That quad, that hip get stretched. You could hold the dumbbell up here, a little bit of extra gains. Totally up to you. Nice, halfway. You're squeezing that butt, driving it forward. I would expect on this 3rd set that you'll feel like you're in the deepest position you've been in so far today. We've done quite a lot of work on it. That's going to be paying off. I've been mobility training now for 6 odd years. I respond very well. If you're closer to the start of your journey, you won't see as much of a change over the session. Now relax. Don't get disheartened by that. It just takes time. Okay, last row. Fastest of the whole day. Let's do it. Grab your handle, off we go. Oh dear. Those first 2 or 3 strokes can feel heavy. It's a good reminder to brace up, drive the knees. We want to leave the arms out, doing absolutely nothing for as long as we can here. Weakest part of our whole body. Nice. I don't know about you, but my legs are burning. But 1 minute and 15 to go. We can hold on. Super nice way today to get through some stretches without feeling like you're missing out on a workout. 1 minute. Nice. Good old push now for 45. Putting it all together. Long arms. Knees down. Swing through. There. There. 30 seconds. $20 to go. Hanging in there. Last 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Last time then. Grab your board, bumper, or block. Grab your dumbbell. And this time we want to curl, curl, curl. Keeping those quads on. And just feel that long stretch from your neck right down to your ankle. Trying to keep the weight forward, so it's helping to encourage those hips to move a little bit more. Actually, I need to go a bit deeper here. There we go. If you're touching the floor with your dumbbell, just hold it up at your chest. Allow you to get a little bit deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh boy. Last one. Legs locked. And reach on down. Both knees pulled up. Tailbone as high as you can get it. Weight coming forward. Primary focus on this front leg. As always, gang, super enjoyable having you join me today. Would love to hear in the comments below how you found it, what weight you used. And relax. Whew. And gang, if you need help with your workouts at home, subscribe. I'll see you next time.